I'd like to share the latest project from our venture studio. It's called AudioShift.ai, and it transforms any written content automatically into a real podcast episode using AI. It will write the script, record it in your voice, edit it, and publish a full-length podcast episode based on anything you write. It's remarkable. And here's a quick sample of how it works. So I have this post on my Substack called AGI This Decade, Reflections after attending an AI hackathon. And from this post, after running it through AudioShift, I published this podcast episode on my Bot Meets World podcast. I'll play it now. This is not me actually speaking.
Welcome to the Magnetic Growth Podcast, where we explore the latest insights on AI and entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Alex Fermansky, and today's episode...
I didn't write that. I didn't record that. AudioShift wrote that intro and recorded it in my voice. Another example, here's a tweet by Romin Sheth. He is a thought leader in all things business. In this case, he's discussing how people should apply for jobs and think about the next step in their career. We took this tweet, ran it through AudioShift, and here is the episode it produced.
Welcome to another episode of our AI-generated audio series by AudioShift. My name is Romin Sheth, and today we'll dive into a topic near and dear to my heart, the most crucial decision you make in your career, where you work.
Anyway, you get it, right? So in this quick 5-minute video, I'm going to go behind the scenes. I'm going to show you how AudioShift works, how it converts this text article into a full podcast episode. It's super cool to watch, so I can't wait to share this with you. Then I will explain the why. Why do we do this? Who gets the benefit from this? And why this is great for anyone that writes any kind of content online. And lastly, if you are a content producer, if you write on Substack or Medium, if you have friends that do that, I'd love to take care of you. I'd love to take care of my friends. I'm happy to produce 5 free episodes for you using AudioShift, and I'll explain how to reach out to me later. But basically, if you go to AudioShift.ai, hit the Get Free Episode button and mention that you watched this video, and I'll take care of you. Really appreciate your support. We're just figuring everything out here. I'm trying to go open kimono and show you guys how we do this, and I really appreciate your support. All right, without further ado, let's show you how AudioShift works. So you start with some content you've published somewhere. Doesn't matter if it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Medium, Substack. Here I'll use my Substack and just grab the URL. And this is a post from 2016. I pop it into AudioShift, and when I hit the import post button, it will scrape that post and pull in all this information. And so the first thing it does is it creates the intro and the outro, because every great podcast should welcome the listener and give them a snapshot of what the podcast will cover. It will also create the outro, which thanks the listener for their time and maybe has a call to action like subscribe to the podcast, right? Then for every part of the post, it generates a script. And there's 2 kinds of script. One is called verbatim, which tries to stick pretty much word for word to what you wrote, but adds some transitions to make it sound good on a podcast. And the creative script style, this actually edits your post, so it keeps the main content, keeps the main points, but delivers it in a way that's just really good to sound over an audio format like a podcast. And once that's done, you can go ahead and create the sound files and download the whole episode or publish it to Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I should also mention that you can edit these pieces. So if there's something that you don't like, if you just change a word here, it saves it as a custom script, and you hit this button, which creates the voice. And within a few seconds, you'll see that the voice will be created, and you can hear it and listen to it, and you can regenerate the voice if something's wrong. But there you go.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Magnetic Growth Podcast.
So there's that one. Here's this
Unwaveringly believe the unbelievable is something you might have heard before. We often hear that more than 90%
wild. And again, when you're done, you hit the download button. It creates the whole episode, downloads it, and let me just pop it open so you can hear it. There you go.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Magnetic Growth Podcast, the audio version of the insightful newsletter.
This is the full podcast end to end.
This AI-generated audio experience is brought to you by...
There you go. It's really that simple, very intuitive to use, and I can't wait for everyone to try this out. So now, why is this even important? Well, for one thing, your audience loves consuming content passively through a podcast rather than reading newsletters or feeds. I don't know about you, but I've no desire to spend an extra 20, 30, 40 minutes reading some long form post on a newsletter or on a Substack on a Medium. I much prefer listening to my content while I'm doing chores, while I'm driving somewhere. That's when I consume this kind of thought leadership. And with AudioShift, anyone that creates any kind of written content now instantly overnight has a podcast. This is also great for people that just don't like the sound of their voice or don't like recording their voice. There's a lot of people who are really sharp and create incredible content. They write good content, but they just don't feel comfortable recording into a mic. And frankly, I don't blame them. Making a podcast takes a lot of effort. It's taken me 5 takes just to create this little video because for one, I sneezed in one of the takes. And so when you think about writing the script, recording it, buying the audio equipment, then editing it, splicing it all together, publishing it as a podcast, that is way too much effort. And if we can do that automatically using AI, using AudioShift, then we're saving people a lot of effort. The other reason why you might want to do this is getting into a podcast also unlocks new revenue. So you can insert pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll ads, and you can unlock a whole new revenue stream by simply launching your podcast, which you can do by simply feeding your existing post, your existing content into AudioShift. I think this is incredible. I hope that you can sense that, and I hope that you are as excited about this as I am. If you are a content creator, if you know anyone that publishes on Substack, on Medium, this is how you get 5 free podcasts. Go to AudioShift.ai, and when you fill out the form for Get a Free Episode, just mention that you watched this video, and I'll take care of you. You're a friend, and I'll give you 5 free episodes. I am so grateful for your support. If you think of any way that you can help AudioShift.ai, help us expand, help us reach creators, producers, please reach out. Please let me know. I'm Alex Formansky with Magnetic Studios, and thank you.